Democracy is a system where people vote to elect their leaders, but sometimes the people are very stupid, which is why we are going to create a perfect new government in Tropico 6 by engineering a government that can make infinite money, infinitely wealthy citizens, and changing that pesky voting thing by freezing the brains of rich people to vote for me forever. And it all starts by going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt and using it to extort every great power in the world. So welcome back to Tropico, my favorite Caribbean dictator sim. If we head into New Game and Sandbox, we can get right into everything. So today we have 3 goals. Number 1, to make an insane amount of money with a ridiculous exploit. Number 2, to make an insane amount of Swiss bank account money with a different exploit. And number 3, to use a third exploit to create an election system where it is physically impossible for us to lose. So first we just have to do our constitution, and we are going to go with all citizens vote, because trust me, this is actually a good idea. We will be changing our constitution later, but right now we're just going to go with this. We'll have militias, energy efficiency, separation of powers, which we're not going to be following that law, a little bit of security surveillance, and our healthcare system is actually very important that it is single payer for later. We want no fees on our healthcare, and this is very important. So we'll just approve our beautiful new Tropican Constitution signed in January of 1999, and lo and behold, we have a nice rocketing approval rate of 0%. And right over here is our beautiful, lovely dictator lad, El Presidente himself. He is just chilling over here. I've given him a nice little makeover. He looks like a very beautiful individual. Trait narcissist. Oh, I didn't mean to keep that on. I'm sure that's not going to do anything bad. So the first thing that we need to do is make infinite money. Before we get into the infinite money thing, we've got to kind of set up a little bit of infrastructure so that we don't get booted out of office. I can only call off elections so many times before the people develop this nifty strategy called shooting me dead. Turns out it's very effective against dictators. It's super effective against me specifically because I'm too broke to actually have a military. So the first thing we need to do is build a very basic economy. Nothing too crazy. We just need some housing because currently everyone is living in these random country houses and shacks that honestly, yeah, well-off wealth required, but nobody has any jobs. So the unemployment rate is currently 50%. That's kind of bad. So we're going to have an area way out here, and we are pretty much just going to use this as our main citizen area. This is where all the poors will live. Can't have them mixing with the other classes. We'll also build a couple of ranches so we have some food. And wait, I didn't realize we could farm crocodiles. It's nice that I get to put the crocodile farm directly in the middle of all of our citizens across from the palace. That can't be a bad idea. Our support is skyrocketed up to 10%. Wowee. The unemployment rate is going to be rapidly decreasing as we make people work in the plantations for corn, and I need something to entertain my citizens, so the entire island will be entertained by one singular circus. Enjoy the entertainment, folks. It is probably all you're gonna get. You know what? I'm also gonna give them a little fast food joint right across the way so they get to watch someone fall off the trapeze, fight off a bear, and then go right to next door to go to McTropicans. Good thing I have that healthcare law. We do need a little bit of starting capital to get this thing going, so fortunately we've got a gold mine over here, so we're just gonna start causing rampant hyperinflation by mining gold and exporting that in mass. That should allow us to get just enough money to break even and not totally go broke, along with overcharging all my tenants over here. Nobody's really living here though, probably because the housing quality sucks. Oh right, we don't even have power in this city. I kind of forgot about that. Electricity schmectricity. We don't really need any of that garbage. We're like the Caribbean version of the Amish, except only one person is allowed to use technology, and his name is El Presidente. And the 4 royal palace guards. I do need to pay them well. Okay, we just got our first demand from our internal factions, and I love how the demand is about modernizing ranches, and the 2 options is either we upgrade the ranch or we set the constitution to a total surveillance state. I don't think those things are very equal, but okay. And now I have a demand from the USA, except they've changed their name to the United States of Win.
America is bored with being a superpower, so we're gonna be a mega power.
God, I've never been more proud to be an American. Well, I'm a Tropican right now, so. Also, I just noticed on the gold mine, there is a shift option, which is almost human protocol, and then the other one is profit protocol. Duration of work shifts increased by 38. I can't tell if that means by 38 minutes or 38 hours. Whatever it means, I'm doing it. So now that we've got gold production up and running, what I am going to do next is head over to our infrastructure and build ourselves a trading post way over here. So I'll just quick build this right now, and then we can use this. So the way the trading post works is we get to select a resource. We can load it full of resources. We'll do 1,000 gold, and we will send it to America. Also, we now have a massive crime problem that I definitely need to solve because they're stealing my consumer goods that I'm going to sell. Look, I can ignore rampant crime problems, but when it starts affecting my profits is when I begin to care. Wait, why is China sending me foreign aid? I haven't even done anything. You know what? I'm not gonna question it. China sending foreign aid is quite literally keeping our entire civilization afloat. Okay, the left side of my screen is filling up with random crap I need to do, demands from factions, and decreasing the unemployment rate. And now we have a protest because of fun happiness. 2 people are protesting. One is working at the ranch and one is working at the mine. Wait a minute. You're telling me that you're not working and you're protesting instead? Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Oh, I have accidentally put myself into debt because I am trying to build more mines so we can just make a little bit of quick money off. Wait, can I just force quick build this? Yes, I can. All right, well, we are gonna go into a tiny bit of debt. Exporting stuff is kind of saving us just barely. And we've gotten the unemployment rate down. Oh my God, I didn't think we'd actually accomplish that. Okay, so now we've filled up our trading post here with gold, so we can send that gold over to the United States, and it is going to create a trade route for the gold. So now I can go and sign on to this trade route at above market price because the more goods we send, the more they're willing to pay for the goods. So I'll sign this contract into being, and boom. Now we are going to start exporting gold to the US at a 33% premium, which is pretty dang solid. They're going to start sending us foreign aid, which again is slightly, barely keeping us in the positives. Almost everyone and their mother and their child is employed in the mines, so things are actually going pretty well. I've also got to go into a bit of debt in order to build our very first healthcare building because we don't really have anything to deal with this. I just realized I don't think I have a single educated person on the entirety of Tropico, and nobody can work at the clinic. So I have to hire foreign workers here because there is literally no one of our 97? Are people leaving? Are people dying? I can live if people are starving, but if people are leaving, that means they're leaving the greatest nation on Earth, Tropico. And that's a problem. All right, so now that I've set up the basics of the civilization, we've got a nice 13% approval rating. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add 4 more guards at the palace because I think we're gonna need that. Because we are about to make infinite money. However, there is a precursor step to this. I need to go millions of dollars into debt. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a good idea, but trust me, it's always worked out in history besides those times that it didn't work out. But this time it will. So the first thing I need to do is get a bunch of trade licenses. So we are just gonna start spending money until I have a ton of these trade licenses. These allow us to sign trade deals, so the more licenses we have, the more deals we can sign. Okay, so the environmental faction is demanding I build a waste treatment facility. Sure, that makes sense. Why is the religious faction demanding I build an airport? We should start with the souls of registered voters. You know what? I couldn't agree more. All right, everyone, I have some good news. 7 people have died. That means they didn't leave the island voluntarily. So Tropico is still great. Okay, minor issue. There's an upcoming election and I have a 27% approval rating. Probably not amazing. I might have to kill the opposition leader, or he might have to have an accident where a chandelier falls on him. I will, of course, deliver the greatest speech ever, and I can't acknowledge issues because I'm a narcissist. Kind of forgot about that one. That's my bad. Now, I think I've come up with a pretty good speech. I'm going to praise the industrialists, promise faith happiness, and blame Europe for all of our problems, and acknowledge 0 issues. As soon as the speech finishes, he's like, "Viva Tropico," as 4 armed guards walk by him into the palace, and immediately the disapproval rate drops by 30%. Oh my God. Disapproval? I think you mean dead. Who's my opponent anyway? Alvaro Morales. This guy. Wait, this guy's a palace guard. He's running against me? That's insane. This is like one of the richest people in the entirety of Tropico with one of the cushiest jobs, and he's willing to cross me. Okay, I think I could win this election without cheating. I think I don't have to rig the ballots. For some reason, nobody wants to vote for Mr. Morales here. It could have something to do with the conspicuously newly constructed infected dungeon, but I'm really not sure if that plays a factor in this. And there we go. We've won our first election, which means now the people have given me a full casus belli to do exactly what it is that I wanted to. Go into a massive amount of debt. Wait, the European Union declares an embargo on Tropico? Ah, this is what I get for blaming the EU for all my problems. Further evidence that the EU is evil. Minor intermediary problem, a bunch of rebels have uprisen and planted a bomb at the local tenement, and it's now burning down. I don't think I even have a fire station on the island, but we're gonna ignore that because I have other things I need to do. Okay, so I've gotten enough trade licenses. I was hoping to have more, but I can do this with only 4. The first thing I'm gonna do is cancel this corn trade contract. It's gonna piss off the United States, but we'll be okay. Then we need to come over here and begin importing cars. A lot of cars. $870,000 worth of cars. Now, I know that might sound like a lot of money that we don't have, but I don't care. So I'm going to sign this contract, and you notice that it's not going to deduct our money until the cars actually begin to ship. So I'm going to go to what are the most expensive goods in the world. Cars are number 1, but smart furniture is also up there, so we will find that. There we go. Sign another massive import route for that. I will then import a ton of surveillance drones from Mexico. Yep, that's a good one too. I'll even throw in 31,000 weapons from the Dominican Republic, and I think I can do one more. So we'll just throw in a crap ton of pharmaceuticals from China as well. So now that I've signed all of these different trade contracts into being, the ship is gonna pull up to port, and my money is a little negative because I built some warehouses so that we can actually store all this stuff, and I'm gonna get absolutely demolished. My accountant has actually killed himself because my situation is so bad, but we can continue playing. We are at minus $118,000 in debt. We've imported a ton of the most expensive objects in the entire game, and so we are now just going to start storing all of that in our warehouses. China's gonna send me a little bit of foreign aid. That's not gonna make even a dent in the bucket of the debt that we have, and another ship is gonna pull up and minus another $100,000. So I'm gonna continue this for a little while until we get a little bit more goods, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna get our 5th trade ship, and unsurprisingly, people are not happy because I've neglected the situation at home completely. They're burning down the circus. We've got guerrilla attacks everywhere, and one more trade ship is gonna show up, and ba-ba-boom, minus $500,000 in debt. Oh, there's a meteor shower. Wow, it costs money to do everything of this event because I just don't have any money. We're minus $531,000 in the hole. It's not great. Yeah, the meteor shower is definitely putting a little bit of a damper on my plans here. That's kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter. So you might be wondering, how are we going to get out of debt? Well, it's actually very simple. I'm going to export weapons to the Middle East, or more specifically, I'm going to gift them to the Middle East. So we have all of these different goods, and if I go to my trading post that we used earlier for that gold trade deal, I can speed up real quick, and now I'm going to gift 5,000 weapons to the Middle East. The whole goal of the trading post is enables you to send wares to foreign powers, basically to establish that Tropican quality of goods. The thing is, the trade post doesn't check whether you actually made the goods yourself. So I'm going to send all of these weapons to the Middle East, and now I'm going to get a trade deal that is 189% the market value of weapons. So we're going to sign a massive trade license here. I'm going to have to cancel these surveillance drones probably, unfortunately, because I need to make room for this contract. So I am now going to sign this massive weapons deal into being, which will make us a net $700,000. So now we are basically just acting as an arbitrage, and it is really, really silly. So we are going to bring in the goods and then immediately export a ton of those weapons. But we are still in debt. So now I'm going to take my pharmaceuticals that I've stored, and we are going to gift them to China. So China is then going to offer me a trade route to buy those pharmaceuticals from me. Here's the stupid part. I'm gonna sign this contract, but I'm actually getting the pharmaceuticals from China. So I am quite literally having the boat come to Tropico with Chinese pharmaceuticals, and it just turns straight around and sends them back to China. And I am making 138% market price in doing this. So now the next time the boat gets here, we are actually making money. So we just went down our debt by 30,000, so we're actually net positive a little bit. And once again, I'm going to to repeat this exact same thing by sending 5,000 cars to the US and getting an offer for 300% market value. So we're gonna sign that straight away. I gotta cancel something first. We'll cancel this smart furniture contract and then immediately replace it with a insane car contract. And now it's time to just sit back, relax, and wait for the money to begin rolling in. So the boat came and we made $140,000 net by doing nothing. Now all we have to do is just wait until these trade routes actually finish up. We've still got, I am importing 76,000 cars from the Dominican Republic, and we're just gonna be selling them at a ridiculous price. The same thing goes for the weapons, the pharmaceuticals, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, things are not perfect on Tropico. We are a mid-trading strategy. This boat is going to give us a pretty ridiculous amount of money as well. We now have a bunch of rebels that are attacking the Capitol building. Actually, that is a pretty sizable amount of rebels. This is actually kind of worrying. I don't have any money. I don't really know how they got AK-47s. Oh, well, they're just dying, so it doesn't really matter. This is why we hired more palace guards, by the way. I completely agree. It was just a little bit of an exchange of ideas and a mutual exchange of bullets. Oh, man, now there's a global financial crisis happening. Oh, it's 2010. I guess that kind of makes sense. A couple years late, but oh well. And one more boat later, and we made 270K net. And we still have all of our offers still going. The US one is about to finish, so I'm just going to use my money to buy 4 more trade licenses instantly and begin doing all of that again. So we can get a crazy good deal by importing some smart furniture here from the United States. We're just going to do that. You know what? We're going to import some as well from the Dominican Republic. And we're even going to sign this random trade deal for cars because we've already got some insane contracts for cars lined up. Okay, so now it's time to leverage this money into even more money somehow. Or actually, we need to leverage this into a higher approval rating. So it's time we deliver power on the island. And of course, we're going to go from backwater random Caribbean place where everybody is poor, and now we are going to immediately build a fusion reactor. I'm now also going to go to every single place I have, and we are going to max out wages, max out everything. So now we're paying insanely high wages every single place all over. It doesn't really matter. I could just max out pretty much all of our expenses in the mines. You know what? People can now have actual quality of living here at the mines. I know it's crazy. I now have 390K. I'm making even more money now. We're actually at the point where I could not physically even spend all of this money, even if I wanted to. We could even go straight to the central city and just throw down a research lab, quick build it right now. It doesn't really matter. We'll give it all the upgrades it could possibly have, pay everyone the most we can, and then we have no educated people, so we're just gonna import the entirety of its workforce. It doesn't matter. I just completed my trade route with the US for cars, so now we have no one to export cars to, but I am now just going to send them 10,000 smart furniture and generate a trade route, 300% market price, and sign away. This is the same smart furniture that I am literally importing from the United States. So it is coming into the port, turning straight around, and they're giving me 300% market price for no actual reason. So at the beginning of this video, I laid out 3 goals. Number 1, making infinite money for Tropico, which we've already done. But number 2 is to make infinite Swiss bank account money. That's basically our personal money. So if I head to the broker, we've only got $2,000 to our name personally. So we have to increase that massively. And there's a good way to do it that overlaps with plan number 3, which is to create an election system where we cannot physically lose. There are 2 things that we need to do. Number 1, make everyone on our island ludicrously wealthy. And number 2, lots of tourism. So all the ways over here, I have gone ahead and I'm actually just going to destroy this random mine. We don't really need any kind of imports or exports. Worrying about money is a thing of the past, essentially. If I head into tourism, we can now unlock and build an airport, which I will do right over here. Again, I could just quick build everything. We've got infinite money. I'll take some religious standing. It doesn't matter all that much. We do need high school workers, and we don't really have those, so yoink, 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 yoink. The cost to hire foreign workers is basically 0 for us. Because of that research lab I built, I can also head into my research, go into modern times, and we got a research. We have so much research points already, it doesn't even matter. And now we can head into the airport and specifically change its work mode from economy airliner to luxury airliner. That's going to increase the upkeep by a ton, but it's going to start importing wealthy tourists. I'll also just add everything I can. Metro station, in-flight meals, duty-free shop, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm also going to throw down an aircraft carrier fire over here. I realize this is probably going to be very necessary to deal with all the rebels. Work mode will be, yeah, carpet bombing is fine. These people are going to be extremely wealthy, and they're just going to bomb all the random guerrilla warfare that happens. Over by the airport, we need to essentially build a super duper tourism area. So if we head into tourism, what we really want to build is some super villas. So I'll put down a whole bunch of them right here. Boom, 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 boom. And then for all the not so wealthy people, I am just going to stack a ton of these capsule hotels on each other. There we go. Just mass build that. 38 residences. We're going to hit it with the Misery Loves Company. Each employee is forced through the use of tasers to smile and be happy. We like to see that. Oh, we could get more layers, built-in elevators, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now that we have our super crazy tourist area where I am just gonna, again, spam money to quick build everything. I've built all the basic necessities that we need, like, you know, the super villas, which I'm gonna upgrade with even more stuff. I'm going to force them to be tourist only, so no non-tourists can actually live here, which is perfection. Because what we're really looking to get is to invite some celebrities to the island. So we basically just want to stack a ton of stuff into this area, make it super ideal, super amazing, so we can attract the absolute wealthiest tourists in the entire world. The other thing that we're gonna need is a pirate cove, so we could do some heists and steal a bunch of monuments. There is one specific monument that is very good that we want, though. It's very nice not having to worry about money because we're exporting just a ridiculous amount of stuff that we are not even making, we are putting in no effort for, and as soon as the freighter hits here, we are gonna go right up to 350k. I love it. The last things we really need for our tourist area is a beauty farm and a yacht club. So the beauty farms are just really high tier entertainment for pretty much all of these celebrity guests, and probably we can throw in some luxury entertainment. The yacht club is a really good one too. We're paying people so much that the nuns who are working at the cathedral are considered filthy rich. I may as well start researching some edicts like child allowances, free housing maybe, because I do still need people to pay money for housing for something specific. You know, at double shifts, why not? I'm kind of astounded right now that I've managed to eat up all the electricity of my fusion reactor, and I now need to build a second fusion reactor. Tropico's wealth is truly disgusting. Oh, yes! So that is amazing. We just had our first celebrity actually get here. It is this guy, Jesus Fuego. So we need to make this guy really happy because he has a special ability that is going to increase the efficiency of our colleges, and then that's going to stack up even higher depending on how happy he is. Right now, he only has 3 stars of love, but as soon as he gets 1 more, we can invite him to permanently stay at the island, and we will offer this to him, and then we can use him as basically a worker. And that's perfectly what I was waiting for. So he is just going to start tweeting random garbage on Spitter or Twitter, and as long as I post a positive reply, people are going to get mad, but it's going to increase 1 more star. Now I can come over to him and offer him a permanent citizenship. This means that we can now put him to work as a professor, so he is going to start increasing the efficiency of our colleges, and I actually need to build a couple more of those. Don't worry, all of this is going to make more sense as we keep going, because we need lots and lots of college-educated people. So I have taken the liberty of building 3 total colleges on the island, 3 total high schools. I'm just importing any labor that we definitely need. And so now we are going to try and mill this into as many college-educated people as possible. This is absolutely essential. The other part of this is that we need another specific celebrity. We need Brittany Trivale. As soon as we get her, we can really start going. Part of this is that I'm also going to change our constitution in order to add best country on earth. Citizens are not allowed to emigrate. Going into our finances, and we get to see that the economy is booming, or specifically the treasury is booming, but if we go a little deeper into our revenue, the exports are making us insane amounts of money, cars specifically, but now we're also starting to make an insane amount of money from beauty farms selling to tourists. These are absolutely insane. They make a ridiculous amount of money. This one that we put down has made $250 $57,000. Also, network balance. Okay, I gotta fix the power problem again. Give it up for fusion reactor number 3, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the one that solves the power problem, surely. 99% of engineers stop before building one last fusion reactor, which will solve the electrical grid. The problem with these beauty farms, though, is that they require college-educated people. However, they also allow us to pay the workers a ridiculously high wage. Just to give you an idea of how massive these wages are, the wage for our beauty farm workers is higher than the highest paid doctors at the colossal hospital. It is higher than all of our professors at the research labs. It is higher than all of the engineers working at the fusion reactors. It is 6 times the palace guard wages, and it is just such an insane amount of money that we get to pay these people, turning them into the wealthiest people on all of Tropico. Also, the reason it requires a college education to work here is because I have it on the champagne and scalpel thing, which is increasing wages by 200%, increasing the fees by 200%, and increasing upkeep, and also making it so all visitors have to be filthy rich. So we get to pay them $138 as a wage, which makes all of the workers of the beauty farm filthy rich. It also services extremely filthy rich tourists who are making us even more money. It is all around a very, very good time. And you know what? I'm going to start building some beauty farms outside of the tourist area to service the very wealthy citizens we have, because we just have that many. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What could possibly be more powerful than a single one of these beauty farms? And I'll tell you, 20 beauty farms. The only limiting factor we have is college degrees. The thing is, the money that we're making from these places does not matter. We don't care. What we want is lots and lots of places with workers that have high wages. Our celebrity here is helping us get more college degrees, so we're able to train more people faster to work in all of these places. But there is another celebrity that actually provides for the upkeep cost of all of these places too. So they become vastly cheaper to maintain, and she pays part of the salaries of all of these people. Oh my god, wait, I got her? The game didn't even give me a notification. It just gave me a notification that she was leaving. So I had to quickly hop on here, like her tweet, and then she's willing to stay. Okay, well, that was a close call. Anyway, all the pieces are now in place, but we simply need one more thing, and that is an edict called the Tropico Papers. Tropican citizens at filthy rich wealth level don't pay any rent. Instead, 15% of what they would pay goes to my personal bank account. So I get to just issue this edict, and if we fast forward a little bit, money in my bank account is going to skyrocket. One of the very real problems I'm running into is that all of our college educated workers are just going straight to the beauty farms because they make the most money, and it's leaving my nuclear power plants unstaffed. I had to hire a whole bunch of foreign workers for all of them. So if we check on the graph of our money, and then I go to my Swiss bank account, you can see it has taken quite the spiral upwards. But the thing is, it doesn't stop there. I want more money, even more money, because I am paying all of these people to just stand around and do literally nothing. My entire economy is based on arbitrage, fraud, and corruption. So how am I going to get more of that money back? Well, it's actually very simple. If we head into our construction and we go to public services, there's something called a rehab center. Now, I just put a whole bunch of them down right here. They are mainly used by rich people and tourists. They do require college educations, but we can hire a bunch of foreign workers. Plus, we've got lots and lots and lots of college people who are already flocking to work here. Now, before I show you why these things are so good, we need to do a heist, specifically a heist with our commando garrison to steal the Taj Mahal. Now, I've got a whole bunch of raid points, so we can do this pretty fast. Of course, we do have some guerrillas that are attacking. Well, we had some guerrillas that were attacking. Okay, finally, so my raid is completed, and now we have the Taj Mahal. I will go ahead and probably just throw this down like right over here. Okay, so what's so important about the Taj Mahal anyway, right? I mean, it's just a big building if you think about it. Well, it has a special ability, which is every dead citizen bequeaths their fortune to the state of Tropico. We just so happen to have made an army of wealthy citizens. Extremely wealthy citizens. Now look, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not gonna go run around and then click people people and then click kill, you know, that's just wrong. It's also cost inefficient because it costs $1,500. So how can we do this even better? This has to do with the rehab centers. If I go into their work mode, they have a proper detox, and then they have rapid detox. Halves the visiting time. Each visitor has a 10% chance of not surviving the visit. This is perfect. So we're going to set all of our detox centers to rapid detox. What's going to happen is now absorbently wealthy people are going to come here for detox, die, and then they are going to bequeath all their money to me over here in the Taj Mahal. But it gets even more stupid. You may have noticed the conspicuously placed mausoleum just down the road. If we come over here and we click on the mausoleum, it has a special ability. So the work mode here is just the greatest of all, yada yada. We don't care about this. If we go into the upgrades, however, it has cryogenic vault. Dying filthy rich citizens will be stored in the vault. Each of them will cast their vote for El Presidente. So I'm gonna build this cryogenic vault, and now the more people we kill at the detox centers, we're going to stuff them straight into the mausoleum, and they're going to vote me into office as dead people. All in all, we have built the greatest island ever, where basically all of our citizens are extremely rich. We are slowly killing them and putting them into cryo vaults and then making them vote for us. We've got basically an unlimited supply of money because of our weird arbitrage trick, and everything is going really well. Ignore the fires. So election day is in 23 months, and we have an 82% approval rating, which is absolutely insane. If we look at our citizens, the overwhelming majority of them are well off, rich, and filthy rich. And, you know, the others, let's just ignore the fact that we have 79 unemployed and 134 homeless. I'm not even sure how that's possible because I'm subsidizing everything. Penultimo is going to ask us if he wants us to rig the elections, but there's really no need because we've already found a far more creative way to rig the elections by having everyone, even the dead, vote for us. So the election is going to happen in 3 months, and the result is probably going to be overwhelmingly in our favor. 688 loyal Tropicans voted for me, and 107 people are going to be sent to the dungeon. So I would say this is quite a successful place. If we want to make this even better, we can change the voting rights from all citizens vote to wealthy citizens vote. We've got almost $2 million in the bank from doing basically nothing. We are stealing money from our own coffers by sending people to get treatment that is actually ending up killing them. And then we are forcing them to hand over all their inheritance at the Taj Mahal and then make them vote for us as dead people. What I'm trying to say is we've created utopia. Either way, thanks for watching. See ya.